Robert Frost said in a short poem called The Secret, we dance around the circle and suppose while the secret sits in the middle and knows. This next gentleman I'm proud to bring up to the stage is the teller of all secrets, the teller of ways to make your business more productive and easier. Let's welcome up to the stage one of our great treasures, former Wellness Consultant of the Year, one of the top 5 income earners in North America, Royal Diamond, Mike DiMuccio.
Hey, thank you. My subject is how to employ the ABC system, or to employ the ABC system. Anybody here, I'd really enjoyed that talk by Mary. That really touched me. That got real good. And I was wondering, gosh, if I was in the audience right now, I might be terrified, thinking, I'm getting all of this information from the best there is in the business. What if I'm too dumb to know what to do with it? Anybody here feeling a little afraid that, oh my God, what if I actually leave here and I'm not going to be able to do what they've talked about? It seems so logical and it seems so simple, and I know it makes perfect sense. But am I going to be able to pull it off? Anybody here wondering a little bit about that? Be honest. I'm wondering it myself. Can I deliver right now? Well, I think the subject of ABC, employing the ABC, is really all about that. It's all about, maybe for the first time in your life, recognizing that it's not really all about you. Maybe where you're short, where you have fallen short in life, is not going to be the hindrance upon which you cannot succeed and make your dreams come true here. Maybe the reason why this business exists, and the nature of the business, and the way we actually do business that employs this concept, the foundation of our success in ECAN, the ABC, is because we've all fallen short some way. And yet we recognize that in us is the potential for more. Otherwise, we wouldn't even be here. You would not have taken the time to be here if you didn't know something inside of you wasn't saying, I know there's more for me, because you made the effort to be here. And so how do we bridge this, what sometimes seems like an enormous gap between what I lack and what is necessary for me to succeed? Everybody's telling me, this is what you have to do, and this is what you have to be, and this is what you have to believe. And I agree. But it isn't me. I'm still over here trying to figure out how to get from here to there. And I remember reading a lot of books, and a lot of the books used to say, you got to believe. You got to believe, you got to believe, you got to believe. And belief, as we learn and have learned, is such an important part of our ability to actually conduct ourselves. We act in accordance to our beliefs. Again, if I'm going to be successful and I have to act a certain way to be successful, and therefore be operating according to beliefs that are success-oriented, yet I'm stuck over here with my current beliefs, to get from here to there, how do I cross this chasm? How do I get from here to there when I need to have those beliefs? And so we're being taught, and rightfully so, that it's a journey. Getting from here to there is not a day, it's a journey. And that there's going to be times where we're going to feel like we're a failure. But at the same time, we have to recognize if we're on the path and we're moving in a certain direction, then that's going to take us in the right direction to where we want to go. And with that, assimilate the necessary beliefs, because belief is a function of experience. And therefore, you'll only have the beliefs according to your experiences. So you need to subject yourself to experience and give yourself permission to mess up. Now, I like what Kiyosaki says. Successful people are just in the habit of making a lot of mistakes. And there's nothing wrong with making mistakes. We're designed to learn that way. What's wrong is if we don't learn from our mistakes, right? And we can do that. We can all learn from our mistakes. So what does this have to do with employing the ABC system? When there's so many systems out there to teach you how to do this and how to do that. And I think, there's so many ways to skin a cat, and any one of those ways will work if it skins the cat, as long as we're looking at the cat, as long as we know what it is that we're trying to do here. But you won't even make the attempt or the effort if you feel that chasm is too great to cross. I can give you a list of all the things you need to do. We could sit here and, take all the notes of these last 2 days, concise, put them in a little folder, binder, and say, here it is. These are the magic bullets that'll make you the big success story, and you can. But how many of you will start to edit that book according to your beliefs or what you believe is necessary? Or maybe because you feel that, well, since I'm probably not going to get there, if I can only maybe get this far, I'll be satisfied with that, and therefore I don't need all of those things. I just need some of those things, and then you make those arbitrary choices as to what those things are. Anybody here doing that with your Niken business? Anybody here have a checklist that you still haven't finished? Think about it. And when you're sponsoring somebody brand new in the business, you don't think they're prone to the exact same thing? So how do we get from here to there? How do we cross this chasm? And this is where the ABC system comes in. Let me see if I can put something up. It's a journey. I mean, this business of going from somebody who's a consumer all the way up to a royal ambassador, that's a journey. Now, the ideal scenario is it would be a straight line, right? Shortest distance between 2 points. But then in reality, that's not life, because we wouldn't gain anything out of that. It's the hills and the valleys. It's the ups and the downs. It's what builds our character and our understanding. It's the mistakes that qualify us to be the leaders. In fact, this ABC system is really an apprenticeship mentorship program, because you're both at the same time. You've been hearing that. You're both somebody who's got to be receptive to learning, while at the same time, there's people behind you, maybe one step behind, and you've got to be receptive to giving. It takes a big step for some people, even at the diamond level, to stand right here on this stage and address an audience of people, because now they're thrust into the position of leadership. What exactly is a leader? Just somebody who's willing to make a mistake in front of people, publicly humiliate themselves, but gain so much in the process. I'm just going to fast forward here, because there's some things that I could cover, and I just want to get maybe to the nuts and bolts. There's your business, and then there's you. And both of these things need to be nurtured and guided in order to cross this chasm. Who do we rely on that at the beginning? Who is there for us to ensure that they can close the bridge on this a little bit? Maybe they come off their high horse and they come down and they say, okay, I've been there. Been here, done that, got the t-shirt. Actually, got the pin. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to lend you my belief system. I'm going to give you what I've learned in the process. In the absence of your belief, I'm going to help you cross this chasm a little bit of the way there with what I know. Maybe I don't know the Royal Ambassador thing yet, and maybe I don't know the Royal Diamond thing yet, and maybe I don't know the Diamond thing yet, but I've gone to the Platinum thing, and I know that I know how to get you to the Silver thing, because I've been there a few times with a few people. So if you just kind of park your beliefs for a second, let's not worry about them, and just trust that I know at least that much. And let's use my beliefs and work with that. We'll cross that bridge. We'll create a little bit of a bridge. And so with my knowledge, my experience, and my success as an upline, my belief system that supports that, we can take those steps. So how relevant and how important is it to maintain an ongoing relationship and dialogue with those people who've gone maybe a little bit further than you have already? So when you get into this business, even though it is a business of your own, you are not alone unless you choose to be. And the more you learn to employ your upline, the more effective you will be in crossing this chasm. Now, in doing so, by the way, it's also an interesting experience because it's humbling. It's actually admitting you don't know. How many of you are okay with that? In fact, it should be liberating. I love what Bob Proctor taught me a long time ago. He says, Mike, you're not going to know until it's done. Only then will you be able to look back and know how it was done. So why worry about those details now? Wow, that's a liberating thought. So you mean to tell me I don't have to worry about the how, but I do have to concern myself with where it is that we're going. Is that what you're saying? Absolutely. Okay. Well, that's nice to know. So where do I get the how from? Where do I get the how from? Well, maybe I should check with some of the people who've been there, done that, got the t-shirt. Maybe they know how. And it may not be a perfect how, but it'll be somehow. And somehow is better than no how. Anyhow. So, there's a bigger picture here too. There's the structure. This event, and how many events like this throughout North America that we can learn to employ, that do a lot of the work for us. The A being the credible presenter, B being us, not knowing exactly how, and the C being a person who's even more in the fog. But the idea is working together, communicating in this ABC concept enables us to be a teacher, a student, simultaneously. And somebody's one step ahead of us and somebody's one step behind us, but we're all kind of moving together a little bit further and crossing this chasm. And it's kind of like holding arms, making a bridge. And that's really why this business is such an incredible business, because I've never known or seen to this day in any business or industry a relationship like this to help people succeed, where it really truly is a win-win scenario, where we rely on each other and we rely on our ignorance. Whereas in the world where we come from, if you were to admit ignorance, my God, where would that leave you? Whereas in this business, to admit ignorance opens you up to a floodgate of help and resources that are available to you. It's when you say, no, I know what I'm doing, don't need any help. Where your upline sits there and says, yeah, right, okay. And when you hit the wall for the 10th time, give me a call. Now, there's your business. Your business needs help too. Attitude, belief, and commitment. You could say the ABC is that. We've got the Lead the Field program. Wow. I mean, what would people pay to have that kind of coaching and mentoring that you have so readily available to you? So much so that maybe you don't understand the true value of it, because it's just too easy for you to gain access to. Maybe they should have charged $100,000 to register for Lead the Field. And maybe then you would really appreciate the value of the information and take it as serious as a heart attack. I traveled around with Bob Proctor for a long time, integrating everything he taught into my life and into my business. And I truly attribute, in fact, I have a tape that I think is perhaps the best talk I've ever delivered in my career out there called Faith of a Mustard Seed, upon which I reference a period of my life when I was going for Royal Diamond and the help that Bob gave me and coached me and mentored me as an A, as an upline, as a coach, as a mentor, to help me bridge the gap right here, because the chasm was big, what it was that I was attempting to do. There's a bigger picture here even so. Let me just move down to this. It's where these two come together. You as an upline, you as a downline. Let me just fast forward here. I love this image. It means so much to so many. And just let me finish on that note. When we work together, when we come together, whatever it is that brings us together, that common purpose, that common vision, the spirit upon which this company was founded was something that moved and touched me to a level where today, to this day, I cannot ever think of doing something other than being involved with this. Why? I met a man by the name of Mr. Masuda. And it was a number of years ago, and I had the opportunity to have a one-on-one with him. And I asked him one question, and he answered that one question in a way that revealed to me, without a shadow of a doubt in my mind or my heart, that this man had been touched by God. That this company was truly inspired at a level that I have not understood until meeting this man and understanding the depth and the conviction that he had and I had for this thing, this manifest destiny called Niken. And in spite of the hills and valleys that we as a company and as a field have experienced, one thing we cannot deny is there's a reason why this company is here and will continue to be here, with or without any of us. because this company and this mission and the value behind it can make a difference in the world in a way that's never been done before, but in a way that's so absolutely necessary. So the question then is, how are you going to contribute? And upon what are you going to cross this chasm? And I'm going to give you one word, and that one word has allowed me to breathe. Faith. In the absence of belief, in the face of fear, there's only one thing that can sustain us all when we know we don't know. And that is faith. Certainty in the truth. And there is a truth I think we all know, and why we're here, what has delivered us to this place and this time, is that there's something going on here that matters. And you being here matters. Make it matter more. Thank you.